So Tim made us move the car so he can play Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers. Quick update, y'all. The Datsun is going on a little break. And I'm gonna let Tim break it down for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't ready for that. Back from vacation. And while on vacation, I was contemplating. And the best part about building a car like this is actually building it. So I'm not gonna rush it. I'm gonna take my time, make sure everything's done right. It's not going to H2O, but we'd have a cool car to go to H2O, and I've already brought the Z4 twice, so we're gonna finish the 2002. Datsun progress will not stop. It'll just, for the next 3 weeks, it'll probably be a little slow, but we'll still do Datsun updates while we're doing 2002 updates.
Whoa, dang, this Joby really doesn't like to be held up. Welcome back. I did a live stream, what was that, yesterday? Today is Tuesday, September the 4th.
I'm not actually sure.
I think it is the 4th.
We should double check that.
So yeah, stick around for the Datsun. It'll be back. Like you said, just 2002 is our primary focus.
She's not going anywhere.
She'll be in the background. He ain't selling it. He tried to bamboozle y'all. He got it all laid out. Man, one step ahead of us.
So I have this fiberglass replica bumper of like one of the old, like the early style Euro bumpers for the 2002. And it would usually sit like out like that. But I want to keep it real tucked to the body. If I tuck it to the body on that side, there's a gap this big. So what I want to do is have it tuck to where it's like that.
You want that flush fit?
Yeah, exactly. I need to take this width out of the center. So we're gonna cut this section out, then rebond these two together with some fiberglass.
Same place we get our carbon fiber from, because that's a very popular question, which we keep saying.
Keep getting asked, it's fine.
Yeah, what is this? So
MEKP hardener, yeah.
And then you got...
This is some cheapo resin, because I'm not using the good stuff on fiberglass.
Motor mount.
Condor Speed Shop motor mounts and transmission mount. This is the smallest transmission mount I've ever used.
That's the brand, Condor?
Yeah, Condor Speed Shop.
Oh, Condor.
Condor.
All right.
It's like a bird or something.
You keep bamboozling me.
It says it right there 3 times, jeez.
It's hard to see.
Take the valve cover off, hit it with some wrinkle black, finish some of the other stuff on it, maybe polish the cap, put it back on with a new gasket. Josh is gonna come in on the weekend, I think, and we're gonna build the actual metal brace for that bumper, because this little fiberglass bumper is gonna do nothing for accident prevention. I'm not running a front bumper. I'm not worried about hitting people. I'm worried about people hitting me. So we're gonna run a crash bar across here. It'll bolt to the stock locations. It'll be tight, but it'll maybe do something. It'll also hold the bumper up. Other than that, finish the air suspension. I got the strut back from Airlift. They just rebagged it for me. So
super cool.
Super cool.
I told them we were doing the LED breakdown video.
Yeah. We're gonna do that next probably.
So after this bumper motor mount video,
we'll do the breakdown of all these LEDs and stuff like that. I got all the orange LEDs in finally, so. Got plenty of work to do, and we have 3 weeks before H2O. Is it even fully 3 weeks? No, it's like 2.5 weeks.
Pretty much. When working with fiberglass, always get yourself a safety mask.
Go get yours.
Oh yeah. Today I'm playing with my new lens, 18-105. Put the Sigma on standby just so I can get a hang of my new dedicated gimbal lens. Gets the job done.
And you look like a ninja.
Greg just popped in.
About to pop back out. I got a lot of work to do. Thinking maybe we should just like epoxy it in and then fiberglass over
put some
top of it.
clamps on there and
Yeah. Fun fact, when you run out of mixing tips for your epoxy, you can just mix it straight on the board. And this is literally just gonna mirror this. In. That's looking pretty good.
So an extra set of hands always come in handy.
Dad joke. So we'll let that dry. I mean, it's literally like 100 degrees here right now, so that should not take very long at all. But after this dries, we're gonna take some of this E-glass. This is like the really good fiberglass. Other stuff you can use is like fiberglass chop, like this stuff. That's fine if you're like making something out of a mold. So while this dries, let's jump into the valve cover. Just because it seems really easy.
This man playing, it's so hot, we just got to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Yeah. Get as much done as you can.
This might be the easiest valve cover to take off. 6 10 mils, and this thing, oh sorry. So my idea is to paint this and then sand some of this off so it'll show these lines in the BMW emblem. There's actually like a numbered 1, 2, 3, 4 like cylinders down here in this thing right here. How long do you think it's gonna take to take this valve cover off?
2 minutes.
Okay, I'm saying 35 seconds.
All right, let's go.
All right, ready?
You're on the
3,
clock. 2, 1. Don't lose your bolts. Wow. Damn, that's clean as hell.
This engine was just rebuilt before it got dropped off here a long time ago.
Damn, that shit is clean.
She's only got 67,000 miles. Single cam. She's cute. All right.
Sound like those muscle men.
So I plan is we're gonna spray this first, clean it up, spray it, and while this is drying, I'm trying to polish this cap. You see how like gross that cap is right now? Let's see if we can polish it back up to like...
It's better days?
Yeah.
What are you gonna use to clean it?
Probably wax and grease remover, same stuff we use in the paint shop usually.
All right, let's show them how it's done.
All right. Scuff pads.
What's up? You said what kind of scuff pad is that?
3M is the red one. This is really taking a lot of this off pretty easily.
That's how y'all get yourself a nice clean BMW.
Ooh.
Wow, hopefully I said it right.
It's at least degreased, so there's no oils and stuff like that on it. That will make the paint not adhere. It's not 100% clean, there's still some old stuff, but I mean, this is a 75, so.
It's good enough because you're just painting everything first with the black.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna do his fancy sand down method and get that back to shine.
Yeah. So this air dry a little bit, I'll tape up this section and then we can get into spraying.
Quick intermission. Go ahead and enjoy Rusty Randy for like a split second and we'll be right back.
Oh yeah!
Rusty Randy.
Rusty Randy, back at it.
That's some more beautiful rust. Oh, this looks like it's about, I don't know how many years of degrading. Got a couple spots here, here, a little bit up there.
Yeah, just get a new door for that, new front panel.
So what's the goal with this one?
I'm gonna drift it and just daily as much as I can until something happens to it. But it's got a rebuild engine in it. I'm gonna cut that out though. Put some side skirts there.
He loves to save that rust.
Yeah, right.
So, like I said, y'all need a rusty worker.
Yeah, just let me know.
Dial Rusty Randy. 1-800-RUST-RAND.
Rusty Randy.
Just taping off everywhere I don't want paint to get. I'll back tape each of the bolt holes. No need to get paint down there too.
Quality TJs. Could never escape them.
And we're ready to go.
Attention to detail is key. This is the last layer until we start throwing that heat gun on to get the wrinkle to pop. Right now Tim is having a nice little battle with a spider.
That's doing magic, dude. He's floating.
Hell no. You tripping. Alright, so
just turn the booth on. We're just gonna let it bake instead of heat gunning it. That way it'll get an even temperature around the whole thing.
So right now the booth is hot.
That's how hot it is already because it's just turned on. But it'll probably get to like 55, 60 degrees Celsius. So before we jump back on the bumper, I wanted to try a little hand polish on this old crusty valve cover. So far that's 800. I'm gonna bump up to 12 and then do one sheet of 15 and then try a little bit of mag polish and see how she turns out. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but if in 5 minutes it looks a lot nicer, cool. That's the result after a little 1500. It's already looking a lot better. I hit it with a little bit of this Mother's mag polish. I mean, she looks pretty good though, for sure.
Hell yeah. Compared to
compared to the rest of the engine bay, that's dusty and this was literally in a fire. Like, if you reach down here, there's usually like I can grab some like bits of the old roof that fell on it and stuff like that. This is like charred, like either like melted roof stuff or. And I've literally pulled up little charcoals. Took the clamps off.
And you just use the centerpiece as...
Centerpiece that we cut off as a backing plate.
Okay.
And then I'm probably gonna grind this down a little bit, any of these little high spots. These are obviously now longer because the inside diameter is on the outside, yeah, whatever. So I'll cut these down shorter, grind this a little flatter, and then we'll use some of that fiberglass and overlay the entire thing. So it's got a little more support. That'll probably end up being the strongest part of that bumper. We only really need a small little piece of this. Just like the carbon fiber, very similar. You can do that same trick we were doing with the edge. Yep, and I pull the end. It's all good. At least this way we'll get a clean cut.
How much of that are you supposed to use?
Who knows? As long as it turns darker like that, you're good. It's definitely a little too much, but for what we're doing, it can't hurt.
So the purpose of using the fiberglass is for like reinforcement, right?
Yeah. The only thing I don't want is air bubbles.
What's the cure time for this?
This stuff's pretty fast. It'll probably cure in like 30 minutes.
Super fast.
Yeah.
Definitely compared to carbon fiber.
Yeah, well this is also polyester resin, not epoxy. Like with all the carbon fiber stuff, I use epoxy resin, which flexes better and does, yeah, it's got a bunch of different properties. But it's also way more expensive, and I'm not gonna waste that on this fiberglass part. Each layer is also gonna get a little wider as we go, so that one's only this wide, probably overlapping like 3 or 4 inches on the end each side.
And what's the reason for doing that?
Just widening how far it reinforces. Let's go check on the valve cover. See how it's doing. It's done baking.
Golly, it's so hot.
She rankled up. So what we'll do is we'll tape around the outside of it once it's fully cured. Tape around the outside of this stuff, right here, and we'll sand all these lines in the BMW emblem.
But that, you say you gotta let it cure for 24 hours?
Yeah, that's what the can says. You want to make sure, because I could tape on it and pull a bunch of the paint up and then just ruin the whole thing for no reason.
So that'll be on
the next episode.
when we do the tail light.
Tune in next time. Yeah, there we go. We'll do taillights and we'll finish this guy up.
Just bouncing back in between valve cover and bumper. All right, back to our scheduled programming.
Good enough. So we'll let that cure there. I'll try not to touch it, but that's the best way of covering the valve cover. Well, yeah. Covering the valves from getting any debris or any rogue bolts just jumping out of here. But so now we gotta locate the engine and trans mounts. I spotted one.
I'm gonna need you to point at the motor mount again.
This right here is one of them. So we gotta undo this bolt down here, and there should be a bolt on the back half too.
While Tim does this whole process, we're gonna use the GoPro to time lapse this process because it's just too tight of a space for, you know, me to get my camera in there and show y'all everything.
Motor mounts are in. Last one we gotta do is this transmission mount, which is like so small, it's hilarious. But I'm gonna do that when we have it on the lift because it's far back and it's kind of like in the way where my jack stands are right now. Get a little bit of that juice in there. The engine doesn't shake at all anymore.
Yeah, no.
Remember how much it used to shake? We'll put a clip in it. I gotta mess with that carb a little bit too, but we're good. Good for now. So I basically just trimmed that excess fiberglass stuff that's showing there off. It's nice. That you can see how much of this flexes right here versus this. That's definitely the sturdiest part of the bumper now. Hold that corner. Something around that.
So now you just gotta like trim or make it mark.
Probably trim the center in a little bit so it'll suck these corners in. Either that or I could build the corners out, but I'm still sucking the corners in a little bit. But once we have the rear metal bar, the bar is gonna bolt to these sections right there.
Hopefully, we should be able to see it.
But that we're gonna do on Saturday. So like, comment, subscribe, we're done.
I just want to do hood rat stuff for my friends.